It's Kevin Kietzman Uncanceled on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. I'm Kevin Kietzman. In the chair over the next hour, we got a lot of great things to talk about, including coming up in 30 minutes. A couple of city council meetings or city hearings, meetings last night and tonight that are taking a lot of headlines. We'll get into those with Mark Van Sickle, who may take part in one. He's getting excited. He got the green light. He called home. He got the green light to do this, and he'll be going tonight. We will let you know exactly what Mark is up to, and then we'll update you on what happened with the interview that we did last week with the concerned homeowner in Lenexa about the Habitat for Humanity low-income housing in the middle of a neighborhood with $600,000 houses. It was an overflow crowd, so we'll talk about what happened there and get you up to date on some things going on here in the KC area. If you're feeling down, I'm going to pick you up. We got some great polling numbers out there that we will share on the broadcast today. I mean, just insane polling numbers in favor of immigration enforcement and voter ID. We'll have that for you. We'll try to get to the Nancy Guthrie story, which is really disturbing, and I really don't do a lot of crime stories, but this one has got everybody's attention. 84 years old, sleeping in the middle of the night, abducted. Now, I don't know why they didn't say this, all this stuff initially. Why is this trickling out so slow? There are now apparently signs of a forced entry, and there was blood at the scene where she was taken, which is changing the narrative of what people are thinking about this thing completely. So we'll get into all that. I want to start today with something that would just be absolutely disingenuous for a guy with a microphone to say, I don't care what somebody with a microphone has to say, because I clearly do. I've clearly listened to people with microphones my entire life. I've listened to radio DJs. I've listened to music. I've listened to speeches. I've listened to talk radio. I've listened to pretty much everyone with a microphone my entire life, and I enjoy having my own microphone, and I like it when people enjoy what I have to say. So it would be terribly disingenuous for me to say I don't care what Billie Eilish has to say at the Grammys. I didn't spend any time on this yesterday, and I really don't care about the crux of what she said. What I like is the fact that you must have a certain level of responsibility for what you say into a microphone or what you sing into a microphone. And that's really the crux of where we're going here. Billie Eilish is getting backlash for what she said at the Grammys Sunday, unlike anyone I can ever remember. Now, she did say something that was absolutely stupid, that there are no borders, okay? Nobody's illegal. She said there are no borders in any countries. There's no borders anywhere, according to her. And nobody's illegal on stolen land. Well, those things are not compatible. You can't steal land from somebody if there are no borders. It's nobody's land. Her argument is you can't be illegal if the land is stolen. Like every place is open and free and we're all one world and there's no borders. That's what she believes. She's a communist. She wants to share everything. And this is fantastic because Billie Eilish is about to get a lot of visitors at her house. A man in Australia started a GoFundMe page. He's got over $3,000 already. That's all he was looking for, to fly to the United States and show up at Billie's house. And he's going to climb the wall. She has 3 walls around her house. Her multi-million-dollar mansion in Los Angeles has 3 walls surrounding her house. He's telling the whole world he's going to do it. He's going to chronicle it. He's going to video it. He's going to get arrested. Billie Eilish is going to have him arrested and prove what a fraud she is. He's going there from Australia. He can't come in illegally. He's going to need a passport. I don't think you can fly here and get in the country illegally, but my God, it would be great if he got to Mexico and then somehow walked across the border illegally and then went to L.A. That would be just fantastic. No passport. Sorry, I don't have any papers. But here I am, Billie, at your house. No borders. I'm not illegal. Multi-million-dollar house that was once Tongva Indian land that she lives on. She lives on stolen land and has built walls around it to protect herself because, she's famous. The Tongva Indians have now come out and said they're upset with her. If you're going to talk about the land that was stolen from us that you bought and you live on, you better mention us by name. That is their demand. That's a small demand. Okay, we recognize that got stolen from us, and now you've purchased it, and I'll ask the philosophical question. Is it worse to go in through combat and take land from somebody, Or is it worse to take the land and turn around and to sell it to somebody for a profit? Billie Eilish was the buyer. She spent millions of dollars to buy the stolen land, and she's got walls around her. This is the problem with these people. Bill Maher made this point on his show last week, which I didn't know until recently is on CNN on Saturday nights. It's an HBO show that I've never really watched it on HBO, but it's on CNN. And I was flying home on Saturday night, and I was watching this on the airplane. And it's terrific. Bill Maher has changed. He's about as fair and down the middle as anybody you'll ever watch. I know he's still a Democrat, and he still votes that way. But it's incredible to hear him talk. And he gave a great monologue on these celebrities that wear these pins. Like, you're frauds. Don't wear a pin. It means nothing. You change your pin like you change your haircut and your hair color for a movie. And it doesn't do any good. You're just trying to tell people that you're a good person. And that's all Billie Eilish was doing. There is no substance to her. That's absolutely true. Because what she said can't be true, and it wasn't very smart. So I've decided it's important today to point this out about celebrities or people with microphones that are buffoons and say stupid things. And we're seeing a lot of people like that in Minnesota. There's a lot of that going on. Most of them are politicians. Don't listen to people. Watch what they do. Case in point, Tom Cruise is among a handful of the biggest celebrities on the planet, correct? We'd all agree with that. He loves London. He considers it his second home. He truly loves the history of London. He loves living there. He loves the culture. He's an American. He spends more time in America than he does London. But almost every movie he's ever made, every one of those Mission Impossible movies, at some point was in London. He loves it there. He's leaving. He's got a $48 million penthouse in Hyde Park. London is out of control. There are people with knives, machetes. Crime is up. It's gone through the roof. They have a mayor that is, well, he's Mamdani. It's the same thing's going to happen in New York here under Mamdani. It's identical. And Tom Cruise has now said, my God, I love this place, but I can't stay. Why is he leaving? He has a $48 million penthouse. The bottom of the penthouse, there are some shops on the street. One of them is a Rolex store, which is the most fortified place in the entire neighborhood, security-wise. Machete-wielding madmen went into the Rolex store and threatened to carve up anybody that gets in their way and took all the watches out. Tom Cruise lived 20 stories above this store. He's like, that's it. I go down to that door every day, walk right by there, go for my jog, my walk, whatever. I'm out of London. So I don't think you're going to be hearing Tom Cruise anytime soon talk about Trump or being anti-ICE. Sometimes it's the people that are quiet that you need to pay attention to and see what it is that they do. He's moving back to America, Tom Cruise is, where we have the lowest murder rate in history. It's plummeting like crazy. And it's taken a year. And that was proven out in Tennessee, where a district attorney released some information today about 2025. Last year in the state of Tennessee alone, 2,183 violent offenses by illegal aliens, 41 murders, 145 sexual offenses, and 11 child rapes. That's illegal aliens just in the state of Tennessee. Those numbers are plummeting because the people are leaving. They're self-deporting. They're getting cops. They're getting caught by the cops or ICE. They're being detained and deported. It's working. We see the numbers. We know it's coming down. Listening to fools like Billie Eilish is fool's gold. Watch what she does. She lives in a home with walls around it. Everybody is now online. There's videos showing her drone shots or whatever, real earth shots of all these walls around her and all this stuff she has. The Native Americans the land was stolen from are saying, say my name. Say their name. Tongva Indians. Say it. You're on their stolen land with your walls around you in your mansion. And there's a dude coming from Australia that I can't wait if this actually happens. When he shows up and tries to scale that wall, I want her to arrest him and prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. If that happens, I'm going to donate to that GoFundMe. I will support that guy for attempting to live his life the way Billie Eilish is telling him to live the life. I want to see what happens when it's her and it's not somebody else, surrounded by murderers, rapists, cartel members, Trinidad, violent criminals, people living in the shadows, horrible, despicable places in Los Angeles where 58 people live in one house or something like that, and there's slave labor taking place. We had slave labor right by my house in Lenexa, is why they closed the Mexican restaurant down. We were in Phoenix last week visiting the grandbaby. They have a sports bar location there called Zips. Very famous. It's like Tanner's or some of the ones around here that there's multiple. 15 locations in the Phoenix area. Every single one of them is closed right now. Slave labor. They got young people across the border. They're basically indentured servants. The families are in trouble back in Mexico. The cartels are saying go work for free. And for some reason, American business owners think this is a good idea to have this cheap slave labor working there until the feds come. And who's in trouble? Not the people working there. They're not in trouble. The worst that's going to happen is they get sent back to their families or deported, or we offer them, if you're in trouble back at home, to send them wherever they want to go other than that. It's the people running these businesses. There are American citizens capitalizing on this thing. And Billie Eilish is worried about stolen land hundreds of years ago? We got bad Americans involved in this thing too, folks. Don't think twice that we don't. Because when there's money to be made, whether it's COVID money they're going to steal from you, or the healthcare fraud taking place in Los Angeles, or businesses hiring indentured servants or slave labor or paying people $3 an hour because they know they're illegal, there are bad people in America too. We need to get all of this taken care of. It's not just as simple as Renee Good running her car at an ICE agent or a Border Patrol agent with an armed crazy man in front of him firing the gun and killing him. That's too easy. That's too simple. That's the ribbon on the lapel. That doesn't do it. When celebrities speak, forget what they say, watch what they do. And to be honest, if you want to get to know me a little bit, judge what I've done in my life. Not what I tell you on the radio or whatever. That's not good enough. I know we all agree on a lot of things here in this format, but you might want to see if I back it up. And I'll probably back some of that up coming up in a few minutes when we talk about what happened in Lenexa last night, where I've lived since the 90s. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday. It's a pretty good sunshine out there today. We've got a nice view from these studios. This is nice, isn't it, Mark? It's a good place to work. It's fantastic. We're lucky guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hang out here and watch the world go by. Sit up here. These trees are going to be filling in a few weeks, right?
Snow's melting.
Oh, you got to love that. If you've been feeling down, let me see if I can pick you up a little bit today. Okay? There's been a lot of negative things going on. We've had riots, insurrection. We had 2 deaths in Minneapolis. The media is telling you the whole world is falling apart. Everything is terrible. Nothing is good in the world. It is not true. Every polling agency out there has decided, well, it's been about 3 weeks since Renee Good died. Let's do some serious deep dive polling on Trump and show all of America just how much trouble he's in on this issue. And it ain't moving, folks. America has decided what they think about illegal alien criminals, and it is not good for those on the left. Here we go. Snapshots, interactive polls. That's IA polls, interactive polls. Do you support deportation? 61% of Americans say yes to 34. For Republicans, it's 97-2. Independents by 23 points say yes. Swing state voters by 37 points say yes, deport them. Voter ID. Voter ID. This has been going on forever, right? What have they said? Well, this is unfair to black people. You can't ask for an ID. Really? If I'm black, I don't need it to fly or do anything. I don't need a driver's license. I mean, what? I've always thought that's the most racist thing liberals have ever said. Requiring an ID is not fair to black people. You racist pig. How awful are you? How low do you think of black people if that's what you're out there spewing? Voter ID, 85% of white people say yes. Now, that is a whole lot of Democrats that think voter ID needs to happen when you vote. Latino voters, 82% yes on voter ID. Black voters, 76% yes, voter ID. And we know they're an 80 to 85% party at this point. Most Democrats believe in voter ID. These polling numbers overall are up 7 points in the last 7 years. Trump is winning that argument. Trump is winning. That has to be passed. Hold strong on that. Harvard-Harris poll, a leftist-leaning poll. Should local authorities hand over illegal alien criminals to the feds? Overall, 67%, 2 out of 3 of Americans say yes. Independent voters, 62% say yes. Should local authorities listen to and cooperate with federal authorities? It doesn't even say anything about handing over or even mention the illegal immigration issue. 67% of Americans say yes, the local authorities should be working well with the federal government. Independent voters, 64%. An outfit called Signal did a poll. Are you breaking the law if you come in the country undocumented? 73% of Americans say yes, you've broken the law. 73%. That's a whole lot of Democrats, folks. Say, well, they've already broken the law. Republican voters, 98%. But this is where it all lives. This is why the Democrats are making huge mistakes. Independent voters, 70%. Swing voters in the swing states, 82%. Say, yeah, you're breaking the law if you're in. And protests, riots, and agitating, pretty clear, is not really democracy. It really isn't. Democracy is when we vote for the officials and we put people in place and they put laws in place that we support, just like we support ICE, closed borders, legal immigration. That's democracy. We have voted in this country. This is decided law, and it has been for decades. Round and round and round they go, saying, we need immigration reform. We're getting immigration reform right now. You know what it is? It's called following the law. And that's all it is. Trump's just following the law and enforcing it. It's been there all along. I saw a post yesterday on social media. I've mentioned this before, but the way I read it and the way I took it on this post was very powerful and succinct. And it basically said, Donald Trump is not a revolutionary president. He's only doing the things we should have been doing the last 50 years. That's absolutely spot on. We're catching up for all our mistakes. We're paying for them. I'd like to see a little more work on the debt be done and things along that line, those lines. But I love all this. I'm taking all this, and the American citizens love this. Ultimately, protesting, rioting, agitating is not democracy. It's free speech, and you're protected to do it. But it isn't democracy. It's actually anti-democracy. What they're saying is we disrespect the will of the people. We disrespect democracy at every turn because the established law that's on the books by the party we voted for and the party you voted for, we don't accept. We don't accept the law. What's more anti-democracy than that? We're a 250-year-old country with a constitution. We have followed the Constitution. We have made laws. We've turned them into legislation. We enforce them until all of the activist judges on the left have come forward in the recent years and said, we've got to stop Trump because he's enforcing the law. We can't have that. These people have become lawless. They hate America. They hate the laws of America. They hate what we voted for. Ultimately, everything they're doing is anti-democracy. They hate the democracy because they're in the minority. They want no borders. They want everybody to come in. They want a socialist country or a communist country of some sort. Whatever. They're anti-democracy. Yeah, the protests, riots, and agitation can be free speech, certainly, and free action, but they're anti-democracy all the way. When we continue, Mark Van Sickle is headed to a city council meeting tonight. You got to hear this next. Coming up shortly, Mark Van Sickle is headed to a city government meeting tonight. We'll get into that and what happened last night in Lenexa with the low-income housing among the McMansions of Western Lenexa. But we'll take a call or two first, and we will start today with Walter in Spring Hill. Welcome to KCMO, Walter. Thank you for waiting. How are you, ssir?
I'm doing great, Kevin. You're hitting on topics, when you're saying, watch what people say and what we do. That's the old saying, you just have to put up or shut up. You what you say is what you do. Number two, I agree with ICE and what they're doing. And three, as a black American, it tacks me off when Democrats say that black and poor are too stupid to get ID. I have a driver's license. I'm an engineering construction inspector. I have a commercial driver's license. And what they don't like to realize is that even the poor know how to get ID because if they want welfare benefits or anything, they'll whip that driver's license out or ID out like a gunslinger to get those benefits.
Walter, you tapped into something that makes me laugh. I've never heard, seriously, nobody brags that they have an ID. It's like, that's not a thing. When you're born in this country, okay, you get a social security number. They do that. You can't get away from that your whole life. You can never get away from your Social Security number. So we have every American citizen that literally, when they were born, got a Social Security card. Everybody has an ID. And
when you say people need to, watch what people say, and I'm from Kansas, but I use the Missouri tag all the time. Show me.
There you go. I love it. Great call, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right.
He's exactly right. I don't know why we don't just take the Social Security card. Why don't we have everybody? When you go to the airport now, it's so stupid. Are you TSA pre? Do you have a real ID? Are you going through Clear? Is there a thing called Clear? Or are you just like a peasant coming over here to this regular line? I'm like, what the hell? How many IDs do we need? Like, why can't – I've got no problem. I like my privacy as much as everyone. And I know there are staunch people on the right that are like, oh, we can't give the government our information. That ship has left. It's sailed. It's gone. Okay? They know who you are. They know where you are. They've got your Social Security number. You can't avoid taxes. If you can't avoid taxes, if you're not living in the bushes somewhere and they don't know where you are off the grid, you're not reporting any income tax and you're just killing animals and eating off that, okay? Maybe that's a little different. But if you're not, why don't we all just have one ID from the government? Just one fairly expensive ID with all the bells and whistles in it so it can't be forged or fake or whatever, and use it for everything. Use it to fly. Use it for Social Security benefits. You apply for something, you use it for that. You go to vote, you use it. You get pulled over driving, you use it. Why not? Why not? I've never in my life, well, I take that back. I remember when we were teenagers, I had some friends that had fake IDs and they bragged about those. Those are the only IDs I've ever heard anybody brag about. I've got a fake ID. But a real ID? No, that's not some status symbol of privilege. It's absolutely absurd. Mark Van Sickle is headed to the Olathe City Council meeting tonight, as I understand it. Mark, why are you going and what are you wearing?
Well, I got a text yesterday that said to show up in support of the Chiefs. So, I'm going to be out there supporting the Chiefs. I'm going to wear my red Chiefs hat. Got my Chiefs hoodie on. So I don't think I'm going to go out and say anything, but, I wrote a few notes down. We are Kansas, we are Missouri, we are one Chiefs kingdom. That's all we need here.
Okay, I like that. A show of unity would be your message.
Yes.
So did they send this to only Olathe residents, or do you believe they sent it to all Chiefs fans?
I believe they signed it to anybody that has probably looked at Scoop and Score's website.
Score. So there may be people coming from all over Kansas City to this meeting tonight wearing red just for the hell of it.
Potentially.
Well, from the Kansas side.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're coming from Blue Springs.
If they are, then they won't be wearing Chiefs gear. They'll be mad.
Yeah, there might be some people from Wyandotte County come and say, hey, we've got the stadium. We're go support Olathe tonight. Mm-hmm. What kind of turnout do we expect on something like that? Do we know?
I mean, you hear Pete talk about it. I think there's going to be a lot of people upset about it, too. So
okay.
I think that there could be a mix of red hats and blue hats and all sorts of hats that aren't approving of it, but also that want to see it. So I think there could be quite a big crowd there.
So it's interesting. There was a huge crowd in Lenexa last night. I think, remember, we had Christina on last week, Christina Wallace, and she came on as a concerned homeowner for what's happening in Lenexa. Lenexa got its first liberal mayor ever in the last election, and she's just decided she's taking a wrecking ball to the city for what it's been for generations now. I'm biased. I've lived there since the 90s. Western Lenexa is as beautiful tracts of land as there are anywhere in Kansas City. They're not just rolling hills. There are cliffs. There are caves. There are lakes. There are parks. There are 6 golf courses within 3 miles of my house. It is a big, open, beautiful, fresh air slice of Kansas City. And a lot of people who have lived that I know, a lot of my friends that I've known that moved there since the 90s, lived out in a more crowded part of Kansas City, whether that's the 435 loop in Overland Park or wherever there's more density. We talk about 119th and Knoll, places like that. They move west to get away from the traffic, to get away from the people. It's beautiful. It's a great spot. Lenexa is awesome. It's easy access to the airport off of 435. It's pretty good. I've loved living in Lenexa. Lenexa is the only city ever that I would vote for Billie Eilish to be the mayor over the one we have right now, because their stated goal in the liberal city council is this. This is their plan. Folks, everything is political. This isn't about helping 50-some people move into habitat homes in Western Lenexa, okay? This is about politics. The people in charge of Lenexa now want to fundamentally change everything in Lenexa. They want to build apartments. They want people to come rent. They want every 27-year-old Karen that looks in the mirror and hates herself to rent an apartment in Lenexa. and go to the street corner at 87th Street and 435 for no kings, anti-ice, spit at cars, do whatever. They want all the Karens they can get. Get yourself a Karen roommate. The two of you move in. Start voting in Lenexa. They want low-income housing. They wanted homeless shelters at a La Quinta Inn. This is what they want. They are sitting on so much land, an absolute gold mine, where literally if Lenexa, if you had a conservative city council right now, they might say something like, you know what, we've got a chance to do something really spectacular in this community. We're not going to allow any more housing developments on all this gorgeous land unless the minimum price of each house is $1 million. They could literally do it. They could do 3/4-acre lots, big sprawling estates, and really what they don't want is wealthy professionals building new houses, moving in with their wife and kids and going to church every Sunday. That's what they're against because they know who those people vote for. And it's not them. These are the disingenuous people that on the ballot don't put whether they're Republican or Democrat. That's the only way Julie Sayer became the mayor. Nobody knows. There's like, oh, okay, well, Mayor Boehm's out. Let's go vote for somebody. And she won by a few votes, and there it is. Because all the Karens turned out, and all the Republicans stayed home. Because, well, you know, it's just a mayor and city council. The city council's liberal. And they taxed these people for parks, and now they want to take part of the parkland and turn it into low-income housing. $200,000 houses across the street from $600,000 houses. I get it. I know why the residents are mad. The place was packed. It was packed. It was overflowing to the lobby, and some people turned away at the door and didn't come. And a few people showed up in favor of the low-income housing. And what do you think they held up for signs? These were the liberals. These are the Karens. Every person I saw holding up a sign like this was a woman. What signs do you think they held up in favor of low-income housing? You want to talk about black people being pissed off about the voter ID thing, saying, oh, it's not fair to black people? How about this one? They all held up sign that said, teachers need homes too. And nurses need homes too. I guess I didn't realize that that was low-income housing. $51,000 is the most you can make to qualify for one of these homes. I know there are teachers and nurses making less than that. There can be, and there will be. And maybe there's some single mom teachers out there that need a Habitat for Humanity home. I'm not saying that there aren't. But really? That's your argument in Lenexa? How many nurses and teachers in Lenexa own homes? Hundreds? I mean, this is, how insulting is that? That's your argument for these houses? Teachers and nurses need it too. Well, this is such a slice of the liberal life. It's just ridiculous, the things that they say and do. And it's insulting. But have you noticed, I don't know if you how much our audience is on social media. I don't know how many people follow Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok's been exposing teachers and nurses all over the country, right and left, many of them in places you wouldn't think, like Gardner, Kansas, Olathe schools, Lawrence recently been, oh, this teacher did this. But there's been this onslaught of nurses that have said crazy things. They went after Caroline Levitt for having a baby. A lot of these are people that work in the delivery room, healthcare workers. The highest number of people getting fired from their jobs right now for posting on social media are leftists that are nurses and teachers. They're doing and posting things that are insane. Our real voting problem in America is teachers and nurses all vote. And apparently they're like 85% liberal white chick businesses these days because the internet's full of them melting down and going crazy. And they're taking over Lenexa because there they were last night. Teachers and nurses need homes too. We want Habitat for Humanity to build these things. If I was on that city council, if I had 2 minutes to speak, I'd say, to hell with that. Give me all the parkland you can find. I'm going to go find Don Julian Builders or some developer around here, and we're going to do $1 million plus homes. We're going to bring you some of the wealthiest people owning businesses, operating businesses, bringing them all here. They're going to bring their kids. They're going to be great stewards of the community. Hell, they may even run for mayor or city council someday because they're really smart and know what they're doing. Those are the people we want to bring in Lenexa. And their heads would explode because that's not what they want. They want as many. This is the only city I can think of that is sitting on a gold mine and has just been fantastic for decades. That is like, nope, We got to change what we're doing here. We want all the low-income and homeless people we can get. Let's bring them in. We want homeless and low-income. That's what we need, Lenexa. That's what we need. I'm going to tell you right now, the way they're going, I ain't staying. I am for now. I'm very happy where I live. I'm surrounded by conservatives. We're in a great neighborhood. Everything's fine in the pocket of Lenexa I live in. But if these people in charge keep going another 10 years, I don't even want to know what happens. They literally want homeless and low-income people to move in. This is their plight in Lenexa because, we got too many developers building too many housing projects out here in these rolling hills. And, God, they just keep building golf courses. And, we don't want that. We can't have the golf courses. We can't be doing this stuff. We got to do something better. We got to feel sorry for the people that are marginalized and bring them in. That La Quinta Inn's just sitting there, and the Denny's right next to it. Let's make that a homeless shelter. We know what happens around homeless shelters. They convert hotels and buildings into homeless shelters, and crime goes up on average 12-fold within 2 miles of those places. It's very simple to see what happens with all of these things. Let's go to Joe on KCMO Talk Radio. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Hey, doing all right. Hey, this is not regarding to anything going on with the homeless, but I thought I'd give you a heads up that in Wyandotte County at KCK at City Hall, they're going to have a meeting promoting the Chiefs Stadium at 5:30 today. I know you mentioned one in Olathe, but you didn't mention the one in Wyandotte County.
Yeah,
so
I don't think there's going to be as much detail there, and I don't know. I don't think they're asking about a vote there, are they? Aren't they revealing? So. They're going to reveal the plans of where the stadium's going to be, as I understand.
Yeah. It still might be something people might be interested in going to.
I think tonight what they're asking for in Olathe is if you're against if you're for or against this, show up and tell us what you think. It's like a hearing. It doesn't matter because the council's not going to change their mind. They have the votes. The Chiefs are coming. No matter what you say, they're not going to change their mind. I think the people in Lenexa believe they can maybe do some good and change some minds on the thing that they're working on. But if Lenexa was the place for the Chiefs location, people showing up against it they'd have no say. That council is just going to go forward doing what they're doing. But yeah, as I understood it, Wyandotte County, we're looking at about 126th Street North and State Avenue is where they're going to build this, which is about a quarter to a half a mile west of Kansas Speedway, right?
Yeah, that'd be just west of where the American Roll is being built.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Great location. It's going to be a beautiful stadium. I'm all in.
All right.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And it's a development area. There shouldn't be much in the way of, other than anti-tax people or anti-star bond people, there shouldn't be anybody really complaining about the site because that now is all a development site. Here is Paul in Overland Park. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hey, Kevin. I was listening to you yesterday and today talk about the issues in Lenexa. I don't know if you know, but I saw that the Kansas House and Senate are trying to propose shifting the local elections to the even years, along with the Senate and House, and the Senate and the national elections. I think if anything, before we can try to push property taxes, we should be lobbying and promoting or reaching out to our local representatives to do that. And I think that will fix a lot of the issues that we're seeing in these local communities.
And furthermore, if I were the Republican running, thank you for your call, if I were the Republican running in Kansas this year for governor, part of my platform and every speech that I give was, I'm going to do it for 2 years. We're going to change the law, and we're going to revote in 28. The most I can be here is 6 years. But we're going to get the gubernatorial election on the presidential cycle in Kansas. We're changing that, and we're going to pass a law. We've got voter ID in Kansas, and we're going to pass a law that every person on every ballot anywhere in the state running for any office must declare what their party of registration is next to their name. Period. End of statement. So when you go in and you don't know which judge you're voting for, you can see which one's a registered representative of the Democrat Party or the Republican Party. Should absolutely be law. Uncanceled continues on KCMO. I've told Mark Van Sickle a couple of times, I bet a couple of buddies earlier this year that Kansas would finish better than 6th in the Big 12, which is where they were picked. I said they've got the number 1 pick in the draft on their team and Flory playing defense down low. I said Bill Self's going to figure this one out just with those two guys alone. Now, it takes more than that to have a really good team. But last night was the classic example of why that is. You have a special player in Darren Peterson who hit 2 shots in the last minute of the game to win the game. And Flory Badunga down low played one of the greatest defensive games I've ever seen. Texas Tech scored 2 points in the last 6 minutes and 1 second. That is insane.
That's crazy.
Which player was more valuable last night?
I would say Badunga.
I agree.
But, Darren Peterson kind of disappeared for a little while in the second half, but he's done that most of the year with the injury thing. So him getting back in there to score those threes was huge. But, Badunga was awesome.
He was like 3 out of 12 in the game until he hit those shots at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what the great ones do.
Yep.
I'm going to bet there were plenty of nights where Michael Jordan wasn't great all night and then won it at the end.
Yeah.
And we love that.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely love that about him. They are a force. Arizona's the only team in the Big 12 with more wins than Kansas now. KU's basically in like a 3 or 4 way tie for second place with 7 wins. Long way to go. Schedule's tough, but KU playing its trademark defense, I guarantee you every coach in America today is like, we got a problem in Lawrence we didn't think we had 6 weeks ago.
Don't want to face them in March.
Do not want to play. I do not want to be in their bracket. No matter where, I do not want to be in the Kansas bracket. I don't want to deal with the best player in the tournament, and I don't want to deal with trying to score down low against Flory. It's just 2 really big deals in college basketball. Did you see the Missouri Tigers have 2 McDonald's All-Americans for the first time?
I did see that.
Coming in next year?
Mm-hmm.
Odds they're both there.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because college basketball stinks, right?
It is, yeah. They'd probably lose one.
The kid in California is averaging 44 points a game. He leads the nation in scoring. And I don't know, man. I mean, you get the commitment and you know they're coming and you've got a deal, but that doesn't mean anything anymore, does it?
Yeah, they can get up and walk out.
If he finishes 44 points a game, why isn't like Duke going to be all over him or somebody else? I don't know. I hate that part about college basketball. My favorite little nugget over the sports weekend, I'm going to guess you saw this, probably on social media. They had a heavyweight fight at Madison Square Garden on Saturday night between Jarrell Miller and Kingsley Iba. Did you see the video?
I don't think I saw that one.
Kingsley Iba landed a shot to the jaw of Jarrell Miller. His toupee flipped off.
Oh, that was okay. I did see a little bit of that. Yeah.
What boxer thinks they can put a toupee on and go fight a heavyweight bout? My goodness. The Vince Show's coming up next. Have a great day.